everyone. My name is Allison Fletcher. I am the Drunk Astrologer, and I'm just doing a really quick video today, kind of discussing a little bit more about passion and purpose. I just did a pick a card reading where I had the cards kind of tell us what we need to do to find and unlock our passion and purpose in life. And I decided to do a video talking more about passion and purpose because it's something that's been coming up a lot in my life recently. This is something that kind of I need right now, is a video that discusses passion and purpose. And I couldn't really find one that helped me out, so I decided to make one. So that is what I'm doing today. Kind of passion and purpose, first of all, just to start off, is completely different for everyone. There is no, there are a couple wrong ways to be passionate. There are things that are bad to be passionate about. There's things that are illegal or just harmful to others. But as long as your passion's not harming anyone else, there's nothing wrong with anybody's passion or purpose. There are people whose passion and purpose in life is to have children and to raise family and to raise children. That is not my passion and purpose in life. That is not something that would bring me joy and happiness. But there are many people out there for whom that's all they want to do in life. And for them, that's their passion and purpose. For me, it's something completely different. So first of all, I want to start off by saying passion, purpose, all that is completely different for everybody out there. And kind of, I wanted to start by talking about what goes on in your life when there is no passion. When whatever your purpose for life, whatever you're passionate about, is just not happening. Because this is a very difficult time. And some ways that you can kind of tell that you don't have passion in your life are kind of having outbursts. If you have a lot of outbursts, if there's a lot of things that make you excessively angry or sad or emotional in any way, there might be something wrong. When normal activities become more difficult, when simple things such as cleaning your house, if cleaning your house becomes something that you either do obsessively or on the opposite end just cannot get yourself to do at all, just normal things that every day that we just do. And these are things that, whether you're following your passion and your purpose in life, you will have to clean your house. Maybe you get rich enough that you pay someone else to clean your house. But there are certain things in life that, regardless of what's going on, or if you have passion, if you don't have passion, there are certain things that you just have to make sure are taken care of. And if you don't have passion, these things are harder to take care of. It is harder to control what you eat. It is harder to make sure the environment that is around you is the best thing for you. This is something that, when you don't have passion and purpose in your life, is hard. And it actually leads to some other things that are kind of a sign that you don't have that passion and purpose in your life. It leads to things like having health issues. If you have a lot of severe health issues, it can be a sign that something's missing in your soul. And your passion, your purpose for life, what you're really supposed to be doing, is missing. And that can cause body aches, that can cause health problems. And there are people who just have never been pushed to understand that there's more than life than what they live. And a lot of those times, those people, by the time they get older, get really sick. That's not saying that, like, if you have health problems, that means you're miserable or you have no passion in life. I think that there is kind of a separation between the two, and they can occur separately. But I also think that there is a connection. There can be a connection between the two, and that a lack of passion can lead to health issues. The other thing is mental health is a big thing. I think when you lack a purpose in life, lack of passion in your life, that's when people have a tendency to be more depressed, to deal with anxiety more, to deal with more mental health issues. Now again, they can be two separate things. There are plenty of people that may have passion, purpose, and still have mental health issues. But there also can be a connection between the two as well. And if you're having a lot of mental health issues, if you're having depressive episodes, if you're having panic attacks, maybe it is something to look into of passion and purpose. I will go ahead and put this out here. I do recommend contacting a doctor if you have severe issues, if you have issues with your health, both mental and physical. Do not be afraid to go contact a doctor. I do honestly believe that combining medical practices with spiritual practices is beneficial. Actually, I work among doctors, and you would be surprised at how many are actually okay. Medical professionals that accept the spiritual aspect of it, where, you know what, if you want to work at getting healthy and taking care of your spiritual self, that's great. We'll just help you in the meantime with medical practices, and then once you're good, and then if you need to come back, that kind of thing. It is possible to find doctors like that. I just wanted to put that disclosure out there. But if you are having mental health issues, or if you are having health issues and you are concerned about your passion and purpose, it is a sign that it's missing. The other thing that I think is really common if you don't have passion and purpose is things will not go your way. And I think there's an element of, if you're missing something in your life, if you're missing that little extra, you're going to fight a little bit harder, and you're not going to be successful. If something's missing in your life, if that spiritual purpose or that passion is missing in your life, things are not going to go your way. You're going to want something and work towards it, and it's not going to happen. And a lot of the times that's for the best. A lot of the times, if you don't know in yourself what you want and what's best for you, whatever you're trying to get is not what for the best. It isn't until you know yourself and you work on yourself that when you know what you want and you go after it, it's something that's really good for you. But that is a sign of passion missing in your life. And I notice I'm saying the word passion and purpose a lot. I think those are two interchangeable words for what I'm talking about. I'm really talking about that extra little oomph in life. And passion, purpose are both really good words. It is also a very spiritual side of it. So I think I'm going to just keep using those words in this video. If anybody else has any words that they think work with what I'm talking about, feel free to add them in the comments. But yeah, the other thing is that if you don't have it, if you don't have that passion, you are going to be in survival mode. Things are just going to be about making sure that you are alive tomorrow and the day after that. And it's when you have passion, purpose, goals, things that make you feel that it's not just trying to be alive tomorrow. It turns into that you could not be here tomorrow type of thing. Like, you have those people that talk about living each day to the fullest because you never know which day is going to be your last. I actually believe that those are people that have that purpose, that passion in life, that have unlocked that. Because they're not trying to survive till tomorrow. They're trying to live right now. So I did meditation earlier today and kind of thought about what I wanted to say and wrote it all down. So that's why I keep checking to see what I've written. I think I've covered everything for what your life is like when there is no passion. So I wanted to move on to what life is like when you have that. When you have that thing that just makes everything real, and that passion, that purpose, just that thing. And when you have it, when it's there, You're okay when things go wrong. And what I almost see like this is that those people that do well in crisis, I work in the medical field, so I've seen nurses that something happens and they're okay. They don't bat an eye. They walk over to the situation. They don't run. They walk to the situation and they handle it. Those are people that have passion. Now, remember, everyone's passion is different. So for these people, being a nurse is their passion. For me, working in the medical field means dealing with a lot of idiots. And so it's not my end goal. But for these people that do well in crisis, they're doing what they're passionate about. They're doing something that gives them purpose, that gives them meaning. And that is a sign that you found what brings you purpose, is that when things are not 100% right, you are okay. The other thing is that things go your way. Manifestation is easier. Being able to manifest things when you have that meaningful purpose in life is so much easier. It's easier to do spell work. It's easier to do the visualization. It's just all easier, and you, even if you're not trying, you manage to attract things in your life. I think there's a lot of people out there who have found passion and purpose without trying, and they're the ones that things attract to them. They're the ones that you probably get jealous. Like, I get jealous of people. I'm like, how is that so easy? How is it so easy for you to find a partner? How is it so easy for you to find a job? How is it so easy for you to find stability in your life? And those people that I'm jealous of, I don't think they've sat here and watched YouTube videos on spirituality. I don't think they've done spell work. I think they've found passion and purpose in their life, and it just makes things easier. When you found it, there's an increased confidence. And along with increased confidence, I think feeling more beautiful is just a part of that. These people that walk around like they own the place tend to seem more beautiful. I have a lot of people that, because I'm doing a lot of beauty spells for myself right now. And one of the things that I'm constantly being told when looking into more beauty spells is about that you can only get to your level. You cannot change yourself. You cannot change who you are. But if you become more confident in yourself, you change how you look at yourself. That is the magic behind beauty spells right there. So if you find that passion, it's so much easier to gain that confidence and then become more beautiful. And find that higher level of beauty in yourself and who you are because you believe it. The other thing is that if you found this passion, you tend to be healthier. There's a lot of people out there whose passion, whose purpose evolves around exercise. And now, this day and age, with Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff, you can make a career out of working out. I can't, but other people have managed to do it. And if that's your passion and purpose, that's great. And for some people, their passion and purpose is still working out, and they manage to do it in their free time when they aren't at work. And that's just as cool. But a lot of the times, once you've found passion and purpose, it helps make you healthier. You're putting less stress on your body if you're happy with life, and if you feel like there's a reason for you to wake up every morning. And you often take better care of yourself because you care more about what's happening. And it's a little weird because I already talked about survival mode. I honestly believe that when you're in true survival mode, you don't even take care of yourself because all you see is surviving to the next day. And when you're surviving to the next day, eating a salad is not as easy as eating whatever you can get your hands on because all you care about is living till tomorrow. But if you're living in the moment and you found your passion, you also are living for the future. And when you're living for the future, and when you care about how you're going to feel tomorrow too. You don't just care about living tomorrow, you care about how you're going to feel tomorrow. And it just makes people healthier. And a lot of it comes down to stress. Is if you found passion and purpose, you are less stressful. When you wake up in the morning, you have a reason to be awake beyond waking up the next morning. And when you have reason to wake up beyond the next morning, your stress level is so much lower. So that's kind of how to tell when you have that and when you don't. Because I'm going to be honest with you, there's sometimes you don't realize you have it or realize that you don't. And that can sometimes be difficult for people. The other thing to recognize is that passions change. If you look back 10 years, if your passion and what you lived for was completely different than now, and it's going to be completely different in 10 years. I think back 10 years. So for me, 10 years ago, I was a pretty hardcore Christian. I prayed to God every day. I read the Bible. I was convinced that I was the smartest person in the world, and I was going to use my intelligence to change the world. And actually, what I was going to do is become a veterinarian and save animals. Now, I still believe in God. I believe in higher powers. I still kind of study the Bible. I know what's in the Bible. I just also have gotten to the point where I understand that the Bible can be manipulated, and that is a problem to me. But I have taken a more spiritual, I don't even know how to describe it, New Age, metaphysics, whatever. I'm the drunk astrologer. It's not Christian. That's not it's not what I was 10 years ago when I prayed to God every day and read the Bible. And the other thing, I hate veterinarians now. There are like 2 vets in the world that I do not hate. And I've dropped this idea of saving the world. I've dropped this idea that I am going to save all the animals. I've dropped this idea that I can change the world. And what I've picked up instead is that I can change myself. And that I can live the best version of me. And to do this, I will use astrology, I will use the occult, I will use the New Age world. I will use whatever brings me passion. Whatever I feel comfortable with is what I'm going to use. And who knows what I'm going to be like in 10 years. I kind of hope that YouTube still exists in 10 years and I can come back and let you guys know. But we'll just have to wait and see. But passions change, and sometimes it's during that change that it's hardest for people. So I had just done some meditation, and I wrote down a couple things here that I think people should take into consideration if they're in that in-between phase, if they're trying to find that new passion and that new purpose. One of the things I recommend is focusing on the positives. Focusing on the positives of the situation you are in now can actually help you prepare for the next situation. For me, I take this quite literally. At my job, I have a great job. It's not always the easiest job in the world. It is not a long-term passion. Like, I don't want to be there for the next 20 years. So whenever things get difficult, whenever I'm in that point where I'm want to move on to whatever's next, but I can't, I tend to actually sit down, and whenever I'm having a bad day at work, I make myself sit there and write 5 things I like. And focusing on the positives helps me, because it helps me think about what I want next, as well as keeps me happy in the moment I'm in now. The other thing is, if you're in between passions, give yourself a break. No one's perfect. No one's going to have it 100% of the time. There are people that are only going to know what they're passionate about for like a year or two of their life. There are other people that are going to spend 20 years doing what they're passionate about. And then maybe after those 20 years are up, they go through a hard time too. So if you're in between passion, if you're in between purpose, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up. Finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. There's a lot of stigma out there against asking for help. There's a lot of stigma telling people that we can't take care of ourselves by using other people, that we have to do it all ourselves. And there's also a little bit of a stigma that you have to have that one other person, that significant other, that helps you, and that's the only person you rely on. So there's actually a stigma against us single people that we need to like find that other person to take care of it, like help take care of us, and that like that's not okay. Basically, sorry, went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there. But basically, don't be afraid to ask for help. Ask family members, ask friends, go find a therapist if it's something that you can do. If you live in the United States, I'm sorry, our mental health system sucks. So that might not always be an option, but don't be afraid to go ask for help. And if you reach that point that you are feeling like there's nothing else that you can do, if you've reached that helpless point, do not be afraid to call a suicidal hotline. There are people that are trained and that are willing and ready to help you, even if it's just for you to call them up and say, I don't have it. I don't have purpose. I don't have passion. Because sometimes just saying that, just admitting it is enough. This video is already longer than I planned on it being, but I still want to keep going a little bit longer, and I want to tell you guys my story. Because I think I said this at the beginning of the video. I am doing this video because it's a video that I need to hear. And even though it's coming out of my mouth, it's still things that I need to hear. Like I said, I sat down for a while, I meditated. I grounded myself, I moved energy, and I looked at this concept from my sixth chakra. Because I needed to do that for me. I had a meltdown less than a week ago where I was asking for help. Because the past 5.5 years, I have been in survival mode. I was in survival mode because I followed my passion and my dream. And honestly, 5.5 years ago, my dream was to leave the Midwest. I was living outside of Detroit. I could not spend another winter there. Couldn't do it. And I hopped on a plane. I was able to bring my dog on the plane with me. I had a place to live, but I had no job. And I said, I am moving to the desert. I had some connections where I moved. Actually, that's kind of why I have the desert here, Defend Our Desert. It's Mojave Desert Land Trust, by the way. Check them out. Anyways, I moved out to I had connections here in the desert. I moved out. I just said no. And I had to do things and work hard to survive for the next day. I have done a lot of different things. At one point, I was working 4 jobs. I've done everything from be a door-to-door solar panel salesperson to working in a drug rehab. That one is especially funny since I ended up becoming the drunk astrologer after I left the rehab. I did a lot. I did a lot of different things trying to get enough money to survive. And I have put myself in a position where I am no longer in survival mode. And I scared myself recently because I had no passion. Because I was stuck in survival mode. I had no idea how to get out of survival mode. I was still stuck on the 2 times, it might even be 2, I don't know. I had to run away from places I was living. I had to load up in the middle of the night, load anything I could fit in my car, and get out. Because that was the survival mode I was in. I'm now in the position where if I do have to move, I'm going to have at least 30 days to plan it. And that's no longer being in survival mode or having to be in survival mode. And I've had to switch from survival mode to passion mode and purpose mode. I think it's kind of cool that all of this kind of popped up right after I did a video recently talking about mermaid dreams. I do recommend checking that out because mermaid dreams are going to be a common theme for me coming up. And just a quick recap, mermaid dreams are when you have a dream of something that's not entirely realistic. You cannot become a mermaid. But if you put this dream out there, the universe may find some very interesting ways to provide you a mermaid-like situation. The universe could give you a spouse that buys you a house on the beach and you get to lay out and tan every day. That's a mermaid dream. Not my mermaid dream. I don't want to be a mermaid. My dream's a little different. But I did that video and it helped switch me into the point where I am focusing on mermaid dreams and focusing less on survival. And that right there is an excellent way of finding and working with passion and purpose. So like I said earlier in the video, way longer video than I planned. Like I said earlier in the video, I did do a pick a card reading recently on how to unlock your passion and purpose. I will go ahead and link that to this video. So yeah, I want to thank you. If you started watching me because of the pick a card reading and you have lasted through this entire video, let me go ahead and say I will continue to do pick a card readings. They are not all my videos are going to be me blabbering. I am going to be doing pick a card readings. I'm going to be doing tarot readings. I'm going to be doing some spell work. I'm going to continue with the astrology because I am the drunk astrologer who's actually sober when I do most of these videos, by the way. But yeah. So thank you for everyone who's coming on this journey. Thank you for everyone who has joined this journey. Feel free to comment any comments you guys have, any questions, any concerns. Feel free to email me. Yeah, I think that's it. Bye.